Three of Northling. Come a little bit close to that one, if you would. Three Northlings.
Yeah.
Who we got? Michael Northling.
We've got John over here.
John.
And Joe.
And Joe Northling. I'll stop doing that now. I just felt I couldn't help it in the first part of the interview, and then I stop. Right, how long have Northling been doing the thing you do?
We've been together for about 2 years.
Right,
So
okay.
I've been writing music for that long, but I've known Mike for ages, and John's known Ali, who's just joined, for quite a long time as well. So
again, it's funny. I'm going to ask you this. It's something I asked an artist a little bit earlier on this evening on a pre-record, and that is, and I don't do genres. I don't like genres.
Okay.
But yours is a genre, isn't it? So what kind of music? How do you describe your music?
It's quite difficult. It sits between quite a lot of genres, but it's kind of jazz-based, has electronic elements as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sort of it came from a kind of jazz fusion world, but it's become something a little bit different. Like, you know, it's become something a little bit more like electronica, you know. In a
sure.
sense, you know.
How did that happen? Was it something that you sort of knowingly developed and went, oh, we really want to head to there with our sound, or did you just get in a room and kind of do it?
It kind of naturally happened. I mean, through playing together, John and Ali come from dance music backgrounds, so that fed into the sound quite a lot as well. And it just, it was a natural thing. I mean, we worked with Stuart McCallum from the Cinematic Orchestra, which kind of had, and they've had an influence on our sound massively. So
sure.
Yeah.
So are you all from the same place?
Yes.
Or all different places? Where are you from?
We're from Lytham St Anne's.
Lytham St Anne's.
Tiny little town.
Lytham.
Yes. Yeah.
I live up in the rough part of the Fylde in Blackpool.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
So, you know, I like to come down, I put my best clothes on and come down to Lytham every now and again.
Yeah, we're all born and bred in that area, apart from Ali, who's Scottish.
Yeah,
But, but we're all from the same area. So.
Favourite fish and chip shop?
Oh, it's got to be Whelan's.
It's got to be, hasn't it? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, you know,
I feel like they rode off the back of the Gordon Ramsay thing for quite a long time.
Yeah, that helped. That helped, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's not knocking seniors. I'm sure none of you are criticising seniors.
No, seniors.
Terrific range
fine.
of fish-based, deep-fried things.
Other fish and chip shops are available.
Yeah. I should be quiet now. But boy, Lytham's changed. It's incredible. Probably actually in your lifetime, I guess it was before your lifetime, when we used to go to Lytham, and there was like, you know, a couple of places to eat, and there was like a Pizza Express, and some sort of, I hope they're not still there, but like tired Italian restaurant and whatever.
It's the place
now,
to be.
it's like, oh my goodness. Literally every other place is being turned into somewhere to eat.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Is that good for the town?
It's good for certain people in the town, I think, and it brings a lot of people into the town.
Do you know
which
what?
Is good.
You should go into politics. Excellent. It's good for certain people in the town. Right. So, did you study music at all at school, college, uni, that kind of thing?
You guys did.
I did it. I did it A level and kind of did some formal training before that on violin and guitar and stuff.
But
I did an honours degree in sound engineering.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I didn't have any exams. It was all practical assessments and essays and things.
You researched it and found out that that's how you get a course where you don't do any exams.
Yeah, it was a brilliant thing, and it just all came through to the music that we create as well.
Yeah. Sure. Because having that is... I tell you what, let's hear one of your tunes.
Yeah,
then we can discuss the sound.
Yeah.
You're listening to BBC Introducing in Lancashire. Just coming up to, it's just after 29 minutes past 8 o'clock. This is Northling and FY. is Northling. The tune is FY. Northling is still with us. FY.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember what rhythm is. Is that 4?
That's 8.
FY8.
Yeah.
There you go.
You've cleverly decoded our system.
Well, as long as it's not FY6. Big problems there. Only kidding, all you Polton people. Right, I've got Northling in. Say who you are again.
I'm Michael.
And I'm John.
I'm Joe.
And for all the viewers, to my right is Joe.
Yes. That's right, a limited number of viewers this evening, to be honest. Right, Michael, you were talking about you did a sound engineer degree.
Yeah.
Specifically, so you could not have any exams, as far as you really confessed.
It was just naturally what I liked doing and what I was interested in, so that's why I went for it. And
right, that's what you said on the form, isn't it?
Something like that.
Funnily enough, Mike and I did exactly the same audio engineering degree.
Right.
But what's been very useful throughout this whole process is having two sets of engineering eyes on the process.
I mean, you've got a sound, and you can obviously make that sound in a room as musicians and together as a group. But then committing that to, nearly said tape.
Yeah,
shows my age. But we sometimes use the word tape anyway. Yeah. But committing that to a digital format. It takes a real kind of skill to do that, because you are dealing with, you've got electronic instruments which sometimes aren't easy to kind of mess around with in a studio.
Yeah, definitely.
So you two do the engineering. Do you fight a lot?
We do work quite well together.
That's a very good thing.
Sometimes one of us will see the bigger picture while the other one will get rid of some huge error, and there could be something massively wrong with the computer, and John's amazing at that sort of stuff.
And you've got your own place.
Good. Yeah, we've got
to do this.
We've got our own little studio, so
which is very helpful, perfect, specifically for the drum kit. I think to get the right drum sound and to rehearse in a specific place has just been so good for us to get this. This EP.
Yeah, that's great.
It sounds, you can tell. Is it nice? Is it a live room, or are you creating that drum sound?
No, it's live.
You can hear it, can't you? I was going to say, it doesn't feel created digitally.
No, and we're quite keen to, that's one of the things that we're really keen to keep, is that kind of live feel.
Yeah. And you're recording more stuff.
Yes,
you've got more coming out.
We've got stuff in the works, so hopefully there'll be some releases in probably the next month.
Yes, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so that's good.
How do you sort of consider releasing music? Like, what does that mean to you, and kind of what do you want to get out of it? What does it mean to you first?
We just love writing music. I mean, it's kind of, it's one of those, it's like a byproduct of the fact that we're just always writing music. I mean, it's been great. Releasing this EP has been brilliant, because having people listen to it and engage with it and kind of getting the response from people has just been amazing, and doing stuff like this is great. So
it's fantastic to be here doing things like this for obvious reasons, but I think also I think what you were implying is that there's a difference between just sort of writing music and releasing it to for the public ear.
Yeah,
and
like you don't release everything, so there's something that I'm not saying there's a sound you're going for, but when you finish a piece of music, you kind of know what you want to do with it.
Yeah.
And I think at the moment, what I'm trying to get to is that people release music in a very different way now. They release a tune a month, they release a tune a week, they do different things. How are you looking at, you've done an EP, but how are you looking at your next releases?
We'd like to just release as we go now, I think. I mean, it was important for us to try and get, because we've not been together for very long, to try and get a body of work that kind of gave an impression of what we were trying to do immediately, and then release sort of individual tracks, so get stuff out there as quickly as possible now.
How long does it take you to do the, you get your parts down, how long does it take you after that?
How long is a piece of string?
It depends. That might be the answer.
It depends on the track, definitely. I mean, some of them come very easily and very naturally, and maybe one or two takes and it's kind of down. Other tracks take a bit more work, but it's just a natural process. It kind of evolves as we go. So.
What about the business of music?
It's difficult. I mean, try not to get that involved, and I mean, it's impossible not to. But it's kind of it's Pandora's box of.
I mean, one of the things that we've been quite careful to do is retain all of the rights to our work. Because, right. I've been involved in the dance music industry for a long time, and I've noticed how corrupt the system is in many
ways. The music business.
Yeah,
wow.
But it was great as well, actually. We worked with...
controversial statements from Northling.
Statement, yes.
But we worked with Manchester Jazz Festival, and in that process, it was brilliant because, like, Mike and I are kind of new to releasing music. We've been writing for a long time, but we're new to releasing. And actually having the kind of voices of people in the industry talking and giving you advice was really valuable before we kind of released our first material.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I love the fact that jazz spans, and you know, people call themselves, you know, all right, various genres or you know, subdivides of jazz, but it's a massive range of sound.
It is, yeah.
Jazz. From you know, walking into a jazz club somewhere, which I do occasionally do, it's a lovely thing, and just seeing what's there on the night, looking and thinking, oh my goodness, they've got a singer that's going to go boo-de-boo, boo-de-boo, and being a bit annoyed by that, and then somehow just being taken over by the band, the music, even the singer, and I'm not that keen on jazz singers, I like jazz. When you were playing, before you came together as a band then, did you do any other types? You must have... Yeah, you're into jazz, all three of you. So did you play in other bands? Did you do any other types of jazz?
Yeah, we've all played quite a lot in lots of different types of bands, blues bands. I mean, electronic music's been a massissive part of quite a lot of our stuff.
Some acoustic stuff. Like we used to play acoustic guitar duos a lot of the time. So
I played a couple of metal bands. That's not a joke.
I mean, if you're not in a metal band when you're 15, I mean,
I'm in one now.
There's something.
Exactly.
I'm not judging.
Listen, but it's a variety of stuff. It's music, and we just love music.
Yeah,
so
I can tell that.
Yeah,
and it's interesting that when I asked you about like the business, like it is a business, and I'm sure there are, you know, you'd like your music to do. For people to pick it up and use it?
Of course.
But what are you doing to make that happen?
Well, I mean, everything we can do, but we're keen for that not to take over the kind of writing and producing stuff that we'd listen to ourselves.
Good for you.
You know, I think first and foremost, you've got to write stuff that you'd want to listen to.
Yeah, I love hearing that, because there are so many artists that are sort of drawn by the smell of syncing deals, and it changes the way you write your music, it changes the way you record it, it changes the way you think about what you're making at the end of it. And it's lovely when you find a sound like you've got, that you do keep it pure. Listen, it's been a pleasure. I wish we could do live sessions in this place. And if we ever can again, you'll be one of the first people that we invite.
Yeah, we'd love to do
because nothing sounds better than, you know, real musicians who know what they're doing, playing in a room.
Well, you've got our email.
We certainly have. Now you've got to get a train back.
We have.
All the way to Leafy Lytham.
Are you
going back to Blackpool or Lytham?
Yeah, well, straight to Lytham if we can.
Is it? Wow. Thank you so much for coming over tonight.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
You're from the Fylde Coast. Okay, I'll perhaps suggest that it's a very Blackpool attitude you've got, which is, I've been asked to come on a programme, I don't care what the weather's doing, I'm going to get on a train, even if I think I'm not going to arrive back home tonight.
Yeah.
And
we're from the north.
I really respect that.
The clue's in the title.
And I thank you very much for coming along this evening.
Thanks
and seriously, we'll find out the train times. Although you might have apps, I don't know. Maybe you can do that.
Kids these days.
Kids these days, you can probably find out the train times easily. Northling, thank you very much for coming in.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
That is Northling and Cloudbursting. And I'm slightly out of breath because, well, I'm not a fit man, to be honest with you. It's amazing I could even broadcast at all. So I ran through to follow Northling. They're just whizzing off on the train back to the Fylde Coast very shortly on the 8:58 train. So hopefully they get home safely and everything's fine on the trains this evening. Fingers crossed there. But on their biog, which I always encourage artists to put a good biog when they use the BBC Uploader, because it helps us kind of understand who you are. They list their influences as the Cinematic Orchestra, Matthew Halsall, Talk Talk, Mammal Hands, Niels Fram, and the legendary, and I think just about, well, it is by a long way, the artist that I've seen most live in my life. They reference John Martin. Absolute legends. Thanks to them for coming in.